My wife Judith and I are the proud parents of 3 grown children. And I love being a parent. I really love being a parent of little kids, though. They were so filled with life and energy and ideas of their own. And one of the favorite things we used to like to do as a family, or I like to do as a family, was go to the go-kart track. Now, there's a wonderful go-kart track over in Bladensburg on Kenilworth Avenue in an industrial section. It's about 50 years old. It's just a concrete building. There's a lumber yard on one side and a concrete factory on the other side. It's a real blue-collar, working-class neighborhood. And in the beginning, we would just take turns having the kids sit in our laps and ride in the go-kart. And it was fun. You know, everybody enjoyed this experience. You got to have ice water in your veins not to enjoy riding a go-kart. You get down there on the ground, it's about this far off the ground, and you just go as fast as you can around the corners, and you can skid around corners, and it's a race, and you can blow what little hair you have back off of your head. Well, the best part, though, was when the kids got older, they could have their own go-karts, and I didn't have to be a parent anymore. I could be a kid. You know, I could just drive my own go-kart, and we could have the race. And I could race against my own family. Now, keeping up with the Joneses, forget about keeping up with the Joneses. I wanted to beat the Joneses, and the Joneses were my kids and my wife. So we're out there riding along one day, and it's about 4 laps into this 5-lap run, and we're going along, and all of a sudden, boom! I look back, and I expected it to be my son who's playing a little trick on me. I look back, and it's like a 12 or 13-year-old boy who's just rear-ended me. And it's like, really? Now, I guess he didn't quite understand that I've been driving a car for 25 years at that point. I've been on the Beltway and seen accidents. I've never had an accident myself, but I did hit a deer when I was 16, but that was the deer's fault. And, you know, I've seen every kind of road rage. I've seen these crotch rockets go by me like I was standing still on Route 50. And just, really? And so all of a sudden I say, well, just no big deal. Boom, he hits me again. And I go, really? This boy's got to learn. He's got no respect. Now, one of the things about go-karts is, and I learned this is kind of the science of go-kart, you just put the pedal right to the metal. You just hold the pedal all the way down, you never let up on it, you never touch the brake. You know, and you can skid around corners and you can win most races. Well, this kid was getting on my nerves. He wasn't showing me the proper respect I believed I was due as an adult. And he comes up beside me now into the straightaway, and he starts moving over and bumping me. He wants my geometry. He wants my line. And I'm just going, I think it's time I schooled this boy. And so we come up to the curve, and I just went, and I just rode him straight into the protective tires. Tires flying everywhere. There was dirt all over the place. And I was pretty proud of my little bit of mischief. And I just driving along. I figured nobody saw it. And all of a sudden, this guy comes down the track. The guy who owns the place goes, "You're off the track, man. You're off the track. You're not doing that on our track." And I go, "Ooh, okay." And so I get into the track area there where they park them. And I say, "Oh, okay. I'm just going to sit here until everybody else comes in. That way, when I stand up, and his parents won't know exactly which one it was that did it." And so I'm having a pretty good time with that. And all of a sudden, all the kids start coming in. Everybody starts coming in. Well, first in is my daughter Brianna, who's 13, and she says, "Daddy, how come you didn't run the last run?" I said, "Shh, sorry. And then my son comes in, Tristan, he comes in, he's 10, and he goes, "Hey, Daddy, is this a good car? Because I want to get the fastest one. We're going to ride 2. You told us we're going to ride 2. I said, "We're not going to ride 2 tonight." And then my wife, Judith, comes in, and she goes, "What happened out there?" And I go, "Listen, we're just going to walk out of here." She says, "What?" I said, "We're just going to walk out of here." And we start walking, everybody's like all bewildered, and then we start walking out, and the guy, all the parents are standing there at this chain link fence, and these guys are big, man. They're like 6'8", 400 pounds, and they got big hands that are used to like fist fights or something on the railing. And so we get out in the car, and my wife says, "Well, what happened up there?" I said, "Oh, listen, I want to tell this to all the kids and everybody. I made a mistake. This is a teaching moment for a parent, and." This kid bumped me a couple of times, and then he bumped me coming around. And my daughter, Kira, who's 8, she says, "Well, it was an accident, Daddy." And I said, "No." I did on purpose. and she goes, well, he started it. He got what he deserved. And I said, no, now that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Now, this is not right. What I did, I lost my temper. It was a flash, but I did something. I wish I could apologize to him. I wish I could apologize to his parents, but I just really wanted to get out of here. And so, and we're sitting, everybody's talking about it for a little while, and then Tristan all of a sudden says, well, Dad, when can we go back there? And I go, it's going to be a couple months until they forget what my face looks like. So now I'm thinking about it 20 years later. I've grown up a lot in the last 20 years. I've got a Social Security card. I got Medicare now. I'm a senior citizen. I'm a well-respected member of the educational community. I work with children every single day with, peaceful conflict resolution and peer mediation programs and bullying, anti-bullying things. I said, I've grown a lot in the last 20 years. What would I do if that kid bumped me this time this year? I go, well, I think I know what I'd do. I'd do the same thing again. And I'll tell you why. Because he started it. Thank you.